Welcome to Olympiad Masters, your shortcut to success. Today, we are dealing with Chapter 1 of NCERT textbook, Crop Protection and Management. Without further ado, let's get started. Question number 1. Study the following statements and find the correct definition of crop. So, what is a crop? When plants of same kind are grown and cultivated as a source of food in a large cultivable land, it's called a crop. Example, wheat, rice, corn, soybean, etc. Wheat crop would mean that all plants grown in that particular field would be wheat. Rice crop would mean that all plants grown in that particular field would be rice. And so on. So let's see the options and find the correct answer.
Correct answer is option number C.
Number 2. Identify the Kharif crop among these. Before moving on to the options, let's see what are Kharif crops and what are Rabi crops. Question, let's see what is a crop. What is a crop? When plants of same kind are grown and cultivated on a large scale, it's called a crop. So based on the seasons, crops are classified under two. Kharif crops and Rabi crops. And in Kharif crops, seeds are sown during the beginning of monsoon season. And they are harvested at the end of monsoon season. That is October, November. Beginning of monsoon season means it would be June. Examples would be maize, millet, cotton, rice, corn, soybean, sugar nut, groundnut, etc. Rabi crops means the seeds of these crops are sown at the beginning of the winter season. That means October, November times. And after maturation, they are harvested at the end of winter season. That is April-May periods are called Rabi crops. And examples would be wheat, gram, potato, mustard, coriander, oats, etc. So let's see the options and find out the correct answer now.
Correct answer would be option number C.
Question number 3. Read the following statements about tilling and select the correct one. So what is tilling? The process of loosening and turning of soil is called tilling or plowing. So the other name would be plowing, right? So it's usually done with the help of a plow, which is made of wood or iron. And why is loosening of soil important? Why is it so? Because when you loosen the soil, it will allow the roots to penetrate and breathe very easily, even when they go deep into the soil. Loosened soil will help the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil as well. And that is why it is quite important. Now let's see the options and select the correct answer.
So the answer would be option number 3.
Question number 4. Which among the following option is not an advantage of using manure? Before moving on to the options, let's see what is a manure and what are the advantages of using a manure. Speaking of manures and fertilizers, the first question that comes to our mind might be, why is a manure or a fertilizer quite important? Why is it so? Because as we grow a crop over and over in the same field, the field might become very poor in nutrients, certain nutrients. So what should we do? We must replenish the soil with the nutrients. So for that, we can either use fertilizers or manures. And manure can be of 3 types. First one is natural organic manure, second biofertilizer, and third would be vermicompost. What is natural organic manure? It is a raw manure which consists of cattle and domestic waste. Compost might be rotten things. What is rotten? Plant or animal residue. What is a green manure? Green manure would mean green things. What is a green thing in the field? It's a crop. So when the harvesting is done, that green thing, that crop is buried into the soil, and the crop is buried into the soil so that it enriches the soil. What's a biofertilizer? Biofertilizers are nothing but nitrogen fixing organisms which are widely used. Example would be Asobacter, blue-green algae, Rhizobium, etc. What's a vermicompost? It's a type of compost which is made using earthworms. Why is a manure better than a fertilizer? Because It adds humus to the soil. And when humus is added to the soil, it increases the water holding capacity of the soil. Another important thing is that it helps in improving the soil texture. Also, it makes the soil quite porous, which helps in the exchange of gases. It increases the number of healthy microbes. As we have already discussed about worming compost, what will happen? It is made using earthworms, right? So, already the number of microbes will increase when you use manure. Manure does not have any side effect, isn't it so? Because it's organic. Fertilizers surely will have side effects. And it even has a chance of entering our water systems. Since they are water soluble, through rainwater, it can come to our water systems. So we must use it with caution.
Looking at the options, option number A, manure increases the water holding capacity of the soil. That option is quite correct. Option number C, manure contains humus. Yes, we have already discussed manure contains humus. Option number D, manure can be prepared in fields. Yes, manure can be prepared in fields as they are mostly organic in nature. And option number B is manure has a lot of plant nutrients. Manure is deficient in plant nutrients. If we need a lot of plant nutrients, we must use fertilizers.
Question number 5. Which among the following are traditional methods of irrigation? Before moving on to the options, let's see what is an irrigation and what are the different methods of irrigation. Irrigation, the supply of water to crops at different intervals is called irrigation. It's not a good idea to depend upon rain. Why? Because rain is not quite reliable. And a proper irrigation system will ensure good yield. Why? Because timely and adequate supply of water would be there, which increases the yield. What are the different sources of irrigation? It would be wells, tube wells, canals, rivers, dams, etc. Traditional methods are there for irrigation as well as there are modern methods. What are the traditional methods? As you can see in the diagram, traditional methods are moat or pulley system. Next would be chain pump. 3 would be dekli. 4 would be rahat or lever system. What are the modern methods of irrigation? First one would be sprinkler system. It sprinkles from rotating nozzles. It sprinkles on the crop as if rain is falling. What is drip system? It's another modern method. Water falls drop by drop just at the position of roots. So it's called drip system. And if a question comes, what is the most efficient method of irrigation? What would be your answer? Of course, it would be drip system. Why? It falls just at the position of roots. So it is the most efficient method of irrigation. Now let's see to the options and find the correct answer for this particular question. Correct answer for this question would be all the above.
Question number 6. Weeds are controlled using certain chemicals called. Before moving on to the options, let's see what are weeds and how weeds can be controlled. What are weeds? Weeds are undesirable plants that grow naturally along with crops in the field. And removal of weeds is called weeding. Why is weeding necessary? Because it affects the growth of crop which is competing for nutrients, water, space and light. What is weed control? Weed control means controlling the weeds. So, what are the methods farmer uses? Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds. Also, manually the farmer will remove some weeds. They may uproot it or they may cut them so close to the ground. And the third and important method would be by adding chemicals. Spraying certain chemicals which are called weedicides. Weeds are controlled by spraying certain chemicals called weedicides. They do not damage the crops but only the weeds. Option number B is the correct answer. Number 7. Which of the following are agricultural implements? Before moving on to the options, let's see what are agricultural implements and what are the different types of agricultural implements we have. Agricultural implements are 1. Plow. What is plow? Plow is a device used by farmers for adding fertilizers, tilling and loosening of soil. It is made of wood or iron. Next one would be hoe. Hoe is a tool used to dig up soil and remove weeds and also loosening of soil before planting a sapling. What's a cultivator? A cultivator is attached to a tractor helping in the loosening of soil. Since cultivators are very fast, it can be used instead of plows. These are the three agricultural implements. Option number D is the correct answer. Number 8. A fertilizer cannot provide dash to the soil. Before moving on to the options, let's see what is a fertilizer and what are the things fertilizer provides to the soil. What's the difference between fertilizer and manure?
Fertilizers are chemicals used to add minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
So, moving on to the options, we can say that a fertilizer provides plant nutrients and that might be nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. So, option B, C, and D are what fertilizer provides. So, fertilizer cannot provide humus and manure is the one who provides humus. So, option number A is the correct answer. Question number 9. Compost is basically a. Before moving on to the options, let's see what is a compost. As we have already discussed, manure is of three types: natural organic manure, biofertilizers, and vermicompost. And a natural organic matter includes raw manure, compost, and green manure. So, what is a compost? Compost is a well-rotten plant and animal residue. The correct answer would be compost is basically a manure. Option number C is the correct answer. Question number 10. Study the following statements about irrigation and select the incorrect one. In question number 5, we studied a lot about irrigation. Now let's see the options and find the correct answer. So let's see option number A. Supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. That is very correct. Second option, wells, rivers, ponds and canals are sources of irrigation. Yeah, that is also very correct. What is the third option? Drip irrigation is a traditional form of irrigation. No, it is a modern form of irrigation. It is not a traditional form of irrigation. So the incorrect answer would be option number C.
Thank you for watching our video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you want a personalized learning course, talk to us on 88487 44601.